Yep. Yes, it is. Any reason why we're not all ready? Why only 3 people are ready?
Select why everybody brings chair when they're not supposed to. Oh, chair here.
I really don't care if they bring a chair or not. Your magnets are on the ground, Principal. Your magnets.
Estamos en Nakan Recess. Canta español, Pi, WP, LBL, WW y WP. Canta mitad del día.
Next week. We finished reading about it on Thursday, and then your writing is due the following Friday. Huh? Yeah, let's do that. So real quick, talking to somebody sitting next to you, why am I showing you a picture of a Jeep on some rocks?
Because he's using his strategy to pass through the rocks. The rocks are hard, so hard. So he uses the first picture of the Jeep doing block again because you need to do that one like that one. Yes, that's hard power.
All right, 3, 2, 1. When we're reading, and we're reading something that is specifically difficult, you have to do something which is called, kind of paying attention to whether you understand or not. It's like you're paying attention to meaning. Because a lot of times what will happen is if you're not really focused and paying attention, you're just going to read along and you're going to start dropping pieces of information and then you don't go back and get them. And you have no real sense that you're not understanding. So this kind of work is like trying to get that 4-wheel drive car, that Jeep, over that rough ground, up that mountain. It takes a lot. You have to slow down. Okay, this can't be something that's quick. So the more and more complex text that we're looking at, the slower and more we're going to have to do that. So what we're talking about today, I didn't plug in my speakers, but
It's your
it's okay.
right. Reading.
I have to put that on
change
the
it.
I didn't. When
to
readers choose to persist through a text, so you've made that commitment. You're like, I am going to commit to learning a text. I'm going to read something that is difficult and complex. Do that and persist through that. You need to have a process. Okay, we talk about processes a lot. So we're going to talk about one today. So you need this process to help you understand more and more complex text. Again, I repeat all this later. So, what does the process look like? Well, this weekend we were wanting to watch the 2nd season of The Sopranos, which is a TV show about a mob family. Mob family is like, not the best people in the world. It's a pretty good show, though. It's on HBO. It's an old one. And so I wanted to recap what the 1st season was about to help me in my understanding of the 2nd season. And this is what it said. The mob is besieged as much by infidelity as it is by the federal government. Early in the series, the greatest threat to Tony's family is his own biological family. One of his closest associates turns witness for the FBI. His mother colludes with his uncle to contract a hit on Tony. And his kids click through websites that track the federal crackdown in Tony's gangland. What? Like, how do they even think that could possibly be helpful? Okay, but I still wanted to think and to understand. I was still interested in understanding. And when we're interested in the understanding and we want to learn, then we use a strategy. And so the strategy and the process I'm going to talk to you today is you slow down your reading, all chunks, and you paraphrase, okay? And then after you do that, you keep doing that in small chunks, Okay, when things are getting hard, you don't read a whole page. Okay, it might just be a sentence or two, paraphrasing, trying to make sense of it, saying this is what I think it's about. And then you keep doing that and checking your understanding. So, for example, I see the first two sentences here. It says, the mob is besieged as much by inner infidelity as it is by the federal government. Early in the series, the greatest threat to Tony's family is his own biological family. All right, now I have to really look at that. The mob is besieged. Well, I know that word siege is in there. We had talked about that at some point. So it's kind of like they're being attacked, I guess. They're being attacked as much by inner infidelity as it is by the federal government. Okay, so the government is always going to be after the mob. Like that's who those are the cops. It's like the cops versus the bad guys. But what that's saying is inner infidelity as it is. Oh, like inside. So something is happening inside maybe the mob family. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's something like they're having more problems inside the mob than they are with the government. What does it say next? Early in the series, the greatest threat to Tony's family is his own biological family. Why are they talking about two families and why is the other family capitalized? Oh, mob family. That's what they call the people, like the Gambinos and whoever was in the America in the mob. That they were part of what's called a family. That's why it's in quote uppercase. So his own family, his biological family, so the people like his parents and his own family are more of a danger to him than his mob family. So we have those two ideas, and do those fit together? This whole idea that the mob itself was more dangerous than the federal government, and then within that mob, his parents and his family were more of a negative than the actual mob family. I think that kind of makes sense. So what I want you to do now is I want you to think along those same lines. We have two more sentences. I'll read them out loud. I want you to work with your partner to paraphrase. Okay? Think about, does this relate to what I just talked about? Is it still making sense or is it something new? Okay? And after you do this process of paraphrasing, I am going to ask you to write down your paraphrase on a Post-it note and turn that in. Okay? But this is a process we do when we're tackling really complex text, which you're going to be running into if you haven't run into already. So again, that is preview the text, read a very small chunk, paraphrase it, read another small chunk, and then check your understanding. So go ahead and do that work for me now. One of his closest associates turns witness for the FBI. One of his closest associates turns witness for the FBI. His mother colludes with his uncle to contract a hit on Tony, and his kids click through websites that track the federal crackdown in Tony's gangland. So work with your partner right now. Come up with some paraphrases for those last two sentences.
That Tony's family is I didn't understand what's going on.
The mob, think of, in Colombian terms, you would say that Pablo Escobar was head of a mob.
It's like a gang.
But it's more organized, and they're big. It's like big crime. It's like really bad stuff.
Terrorists.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah.
Terrorists. That they were terrorists fighting with the federal
All right, 3, 2, 1. Again, whatever work you did there in paraphrasing, I want it written down on a Post-it note. turned into a canister. Okay, so your success is going to be, it's not necessarily a summary. Okay, again, that process. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not interested in learning here, then go to your desk. I'm recording this. I'll put it on Classroom. You can watch it then. Please stop interrupting me, and please stop interrupting other people's learning. Okay? And if you came in late, then that's what you do. You need to watch it tonight. So you keep up. We look at that chunks. We look at small chunks, and we try and monitor our making sense. Are we making sense of this or not? Okay. So what was your paraphrasing for those last two sentences when it comes to trying to work with some sort of complex text? All right. Some background info that Pablo had asked about was, if you want to think of the mob, you can think of maybe an example in Colombia like Pablo Escobar. He was a head of a mob. Okay, drug cartel. That would be the same sort of thing. This is groups of people who are doing very, very illegal things. I just explained what a mob was.
It's a group of people.
And I put it in context. Yeah, gangsters. Yeah, gangsters. That's why it says gangland in here. Gang. It's using clues and reading and pushing ourselves. All right, so your success is this. Are the words you're using in your paraphrasing easier than the words that you were reading? That's a good sign, right? You're making it easier for yourself to understand. And does it fit with the content that you were reading? Tony was a character. Again, if you're doing this much work on it and you didn't pick up something from your conversation, I would put your Post-it note in the question mark or X, because you should be finished at this point. Okay, you just don't know how to do this. It's too hard or difficult for you, so I can pull you on and support you that way. The last two sentences from 1 to gangland.
I think Risha didn't show like the number. She didn't show anything. The board. There wasn't nothing on the board. The board.
For what?
The secret number.
I didn't ask you to put a secret number down.
Oh.
Ricardo, ¿qué liar? You were telling me about the secret number.
So we're gonna have like a leader.
Well, it was a merge. Like she didn't know what was. She just was there to help. It wasn't a plan, so she was just helping out.
Paco, can you give me a secret?
I don't have.
Where? You have a
Oh my God.
Cuando te pillas, vamos a comer.